Well, here in Southern Oregon, we've had an extended winter. We had quite a bit of snow and rain, so a lot of the mountain roads are not open yet, even though we're heading into summer. Might be another month or so. I enjoy getting out and riding, even though I can't make a loop today. I'll just turn around and go back. It's nice to get out on my small displacement KTM 390 adventure motorcycle. Now, if you follow my videos, you'll know that I downsized from a Yamaha Tenere 700 to the KTM 390, small displacement from, I guess that's a mid displacement on the Tenere. And I've really enjoyed having a downsized bike. So I thought I would share what I came up with are 3 reasons that you might consider buying or downsizing to a small displacement adventure motorcycle. You want to hear what those reasons are? They're the reasons why I selected a small displacement bike. Stick around for this video. The majority of the viewers to my channel are older riders. It's the demographics falls from about 50 years old on up, although I do have younger riders in there too. Thank you very much. But this video is kind of geared towards the older riders and also riders who are just starting out on adventure motorcycle riding. Now, the first of the 3 reasons why you might consider a small displacement adventure motorcycle is confidence. I had my Yamaha Tenere 700 motorcycle for 2 years, and I have to admit, I never felt confident on it, especially off the tarmac. I took lessons, and I rode the bike quite a bit for over the course of 2 years on pavements, dirt and gravel, on freeways and on single lane twisties. But I was never truly confident with the bike. And I felt that it was time for me to look at something different than the Tenere 700. Even though it's a great motorcycle, it just didn't give me the confidence that I was hoping to feel. So what do I mean by confidence? By confidence, I mean I want to feel like I'm in control of the bike, not that the bike is in control of me. I also want to feel confident that if I get into a tricky situation, that I'm able to maneuver the bike and also to pick it up should it fall, even in an awkward spot. And I didn't have that confidence with the Tenere 700. I had dropped it a number of times and really struggled. The bike was a little bit top heavy, so I had the tendency to fall over on a slow speed stop or turn. And I didn't want that to be a continuous lack of confidence as I rode that bike, particularly off the pavement. So for me, a small displacement adventure motorcycle gives me more confidence in a number of ways. One is lower seat height. They tend to have a lower seat height. The wheels on my bike here are a 19-inch front and a 17-inch rear, so it's a little smaller than most adventure motorcycles. It's got about a 32.5-inch seat, so it's not overly high. I can flat foot on the surface, on the ground, which is a real plus. And then also is the weight and the distribution of the weight. Small displacement adventure motorcycles tend to weigh less than their counterparts in the mid or the large range. They also tend to carry their weight a little bit lower, so less top heaviness, less opportunity to just fall over as you're coming to a standstill. So with this bike, I've got the confidence to ride on a road like this, which has got some water, some rocks. It's got some ruts, and it's a little bit steep. And then I come up to a dead end like the snow here. and I can turn that bike around. With my Tenere 700, I'd be afraid of it falling over as I went to turn just because of the top heaviness and the heaviness of the bike. But with this small displacement, I gain a lot of confidence when I'm in a situation that requires me to make a technical maneuver. And another confidence booster, which may not apply to all my viewers, is that I mostly ride alone. So like today, I'm out of cell phone range. I do carry my Garmin though, and I'm riding alone. So I have to depend on myself to get out of trouble mostly. And the small displacement adventure motorcycle gives me the confidence to ride alone without the fear of getting stuck or having a bike that I can't pick up. And for me, that's very important because riding alone is sort of what I do. I know that a number of you do, and there's dangers involved that we all sort of know about. But this bike will give me a little bit more confidence than a larger bike if I'm riding alone. Reason number two to consider getting a small displacement adventure motorcycle is versatility. The small displacement adventure motorcycles I find out to be more versatile than its larger counterparts. Now, yes, adventure motorcycle, just by the virtue of its name, are versatile bikes, kind of like a wedding between a dual sport bike and a road bike. But I find that the KTM 390 is a little bit more versatile than some of the larger bikes. So it tends to be, as I said before, a little more confidence building, which means that I can use it to ride in areas that I wouldn't ride with a larger bike. And I can also take this bike on the pavement. It's great on mountain roads, twisties in the urban areas. It does fine. It's also, it's okay on the divided highway. It's not great, but if riding a divided highway is your jam, then a small displacement adventure motorcycle is probably not in your future. But if you mix it up, kind of like I do, ride in all kinds of areas, including occasionally short distances on divided highways, then this bike will do fine. It can do 80 miles an hour, can pass by a truck. I don't like it on windy days, or if it's a super steep hill, it's going to slow down a bit. But this bike is versatile. I can carry my camping gear. I can carry my day gear, as you see here, which includes all my camera and all my safety gear. You can ride it two up if you want. I don't ever do that, but it's got the ability to do that as well. And I'm sure many of you have heard the word unicorn being used with adventure motorcycles, trying to find that unicorn bike, which basically means one bike that does everything. Now, I'm not saying that small adventure motorcycles are unicorn bikes, because they're not, but it depends on your style of riding. Now, with this particular bike here, I had considered getting a smaller, like a dual sport also, or perhaps even a larger adventure bike. And so far, I haven't had a need to really do that because this bike is versatile enough for my style of riding that I really don't need a more dirt-oriented bike, nor do I need a more pavement-oriented bike. And the third reason to consider getting a small displacement adventure motorcycle is value. Now, if you've looked at the price of the large displacement motorcycles, Triumph Tiger, the BMW GS series, Honda's African Twin, kind of all in that range, you're talking mid-teens into the 20s, which is quite a bit of an investment unless you're going to really ride that bike a lot. Now, I'm more kind of a casual rider, I'd say, even though I have a YouTube channel. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, but I do enjoy, riding and going on day trips and longer extended trips too, but I didn't feel the need to go out and spend $20,000 or so to get a bike to do that. Most of the small displacement adventure motorcycles, of which there's probably about a half a dozen or so out there, most of them are less than $10,000. Actually, I think all of them are less than $10,000, probably less than $8,000. So you could buy two motorcycles for the price, two smaller motorcycles for the price of one larger displacement bike. So my own thought was I went for the value. It's not that I couldn't buy a $20,000 bike. I just don't think I'd get the value out of it. Whereas a smaller displacement adventure motorcycle has great value for the price. Not just the KTM 390, but all of the small displacement motorcycles. So you may be asking, what are the small displacement adventure motorcycles? I've got a video where I kind of go through a bunch of them. It was the decision video on why I bought this particular small displacement adventure motorcycle. But there's quite a few of them out there. I don't know all of them. The ones that I do know are the BMW 310. And the rumor has it that BMW is coming out with a 450 twin. I'm excited about that. It's going to be a little bit less weight too. And then, of course, there's the Royal Himalayan, the Royal Enfield, the Himalayan 450. Anyhow, there's a bunch. You can do some research. Basically, for me, a small displacement adventure motorcycle doesn't necessarily have to be a single cylinder. It can be a twin cylinder. But I think the key is that it has to meet the criteria that I mentioned, give you confidence, has to be versatile, and it has to be of good value. And part of that is keeping the weight low also. I think that's a real key element. You may have a small displacement bike, but if it weighs 500 pounds, you know, I would question why you would do that as opposed to buying more of a mid or a larger bike then at that point. Anyhow, I hope you found this video of value, my 3 reasons: confidence, versatility, value. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Let's think about subscribing, and I will see you next time on one of my senior moments.